Hey, what's happening? Epic Conversation, Red Pill Bible Study, back with it, and I'm glad to be. So, uh, I'm in Exodus 34 with this one today, y'all. So, the purpose of this study right here, I'm going through the entire Bible. I started in the book of Genesis, chapter 1, and I also um, broke down the beginning of the story that begins before Genesis, chapter 1. Um, And what I've been doing is sharing with you what has been revealed to me, and that is that there is a difference between our Father, the Most High God, whose temple and kingdom is inside of us, and the God of the earth, the Lord of the earth, who called himself the Lord. And he is introduced in Genesis chapter 2, verse 4. And so the Bible is written, the purpose of the Bible is to point out the difference between the Most High God and the impostor, who is Satan, who called himself the Lord. And so what people usually think of as contradictions, and people spend a lot of time trying to prove that the Bible has contradictions. It does. But those aren't contradictions. Those are the deception revealed. Everywhere where it looks like it's a contradiction, that's just the proof, the evidence that the being that you're dealing with cannot be the Most High God. And so, if you start from the beginning and understand the purpose of the book, you can see it. But if you are introduced and taught the book from what's called the gospel, you have already missed it, because the book doesn't start there. The book starts in Genesis. So that's what we're doing with this study. It's called a Bible study. And I interject and point out everywhere where it usually looks like a contradiction, and explain to you, nah, this ain't a contradiction. This is the Bible serving its purpose, revealing to you the attempt at deception. So they wrote it down. So here we go. And we made it all the way to Exodus 34. This ain't my favorite thing to do, so bear with this reading. But the Bible will explain itself. So we got Moses on the mountain. He came down off the mountain, saw the children of Israel had made a golden calf. And so he got the Levites, which he was a Levite. And I'm gonna talk about Leviathan, the dragon, who that the base word, the Levite, is where they come from, Leviathan. But this is like a ancient sea monster, ancient dragon. But anyway, all the Levites gathered with Moses, and they kill all their brothers and stuff like that. Last time I did this video, it cut off after 8 minutes, so I'm gonna just start from the beginning. Just shot that out there like a prelude because it was picking up when it stopped. So I'm gonna kind of go over where I left off at in the last video. Then nobody really watch it yet, but we outside of time with it, so everybody done already seen it. Catch this. Exodus 34. The Lord said to Moses, chisel out 2 stone tablets like the first ones, and I will write on them the words that were on the first tablets which you broke. Now, the Lord is appearing to Moses on this mountain in a cloud of smoke and a pillar of fire. And the mountain looked like it's on fire. And on this mountaintop is where Moses is meeting with the Lord, who Moses believes is his God, who Moses worships as his God. And so do the children of Israel. And Moses is interacting with him on this mountaintop. Be ready in the morning and then come up on Mount Sinai. Present yourself to me there on top of the mountain. No one is to come with you or be seen anywhere on the mountain. Not even the flocks and the herds may graze in front of the mountain. So Moses chiseled out 2 stone tablets like the first ones and went up Mount Sinai early in the morning as the Lord had commanded him. And he carried the 2 stone tablets in his hands. Then the Lord came down in the cloud and stood there with him and proclaimed his name. the Lord. And he passed in front of Moses, proclaiming, the Lord, the compassionate and gracious God, slow to anger, abounding in love and faithfulness, maintaining love to thousands, and forgiving wickedness, rebellion, and sin. Yet he does not leave the guilty unpunished. He punishes the children of their children for the sin of the fathers to the third and fourth generation. Pause. On my Facebook page here lately, I've been making videos and I've been talking about up, the direction of up, and expressing that the most high point where we meet with the most high God is in his temple, which sits upon your shoulders. The temple not built with human hands. And inside of you is up because the kingdom is within, so is the king. His temple is on your shoulders, and you meet with the king in his temple. And inside of you is the highest vantage point. There's no higher vantage point than here, the mind, from which you can see past, present, and future, from which you can create what does not exist and make it manifest from up here, the highest vantage point that you have. So with this understanding, right, if inside is up in the direction of sense orienting ourselves in this realm, if inside is up, outside is down. Okay? And what we call the sky, since it's way, way, very far outside of us. Remember, anything outside of us is down, and what's down is below. So that means the sky is way, way, way below you. And so if the sky is below you, if something is coming from out of the sky in a cloud, it's coming from below you. And you can consider the fact that Satan was cast out, him and his angels, and his beauty is how he led people astray, and that he was cast from the spiritual realm into the physical, meaning he can be seen. And his aim is to be worshiped in the place of the Most High God. But he is bound in chains, him and those with him, in the abyss, in the bottomless pit. And so when you look at the sky, even though you think you're looking up, you're looking below you into the abyss. And the firmament is what separates us from the abyss, the bottomless pit. Now, Satan cannot create, he can only imitate. So the real and true God, our Father and Creator, the Most High God, wrote his laws inside of us. But the imposter wrote his laws on stone tablets outside of you. The Bible is written to reveal the work of the adversary, of the imposter. It's a record of his works. And so here it is recording the deception taking place and the laws of the imposter being given to Moses and instituted as law with this nation of people. You following me? And so his concept of justice is to punish the children all the way down to the third and fourth generation. So if the father sinned, then he punishes the father and his children and his children's children. This how he worked. Excuse me. The Most High deal with you individually according to your works and your thoughts and actions and deeds. Because you have been judged good, but you can do bad. It's up to you. It's your works that will be judged. You got other work to do too here, but I don't want to get too far off topic. So let me get back into the reading. Bear with it. Moses bowed to the ground at once and worshiped, O Lord. And here is lowercase. I'm not in the King James version though, so I suggest we're gonna talk later about the King James version and why it's a good one to use and to study from. Moses bowed to the ground at once and worshiped. O Lord, if I have found favor in your eyes, he said, then let the Lord go with us, although this is a stiff necked people. Forgive our wickedness and our sin, and take us as your inheritance. Then the Lord said, I am making a covenant with you. Before all your people, I will do wonders never before done in any nation in all the world. The people you live among will see how awesome is the work that I, the Lord, will do for you. Obey what I command you today. I will drive out before you the Amorites, Canaanites, Hittites, Perizzites, Hivites, and Jebusites. Be careful not to make a treaty with those who live in the land where you are going, or they will be a snare among you. Break down their altars and smash their sacred stones and cut down their Asherah poles. Do not worship any other God, for the Lord, whose name is a jealous God. Pause. He said that he gonna the people you live among will see how awesome is the work that I, the Lord, will do for you. I will do wonders never before done in any nation in all the world. These are his claims. And he's going to do this, the Lord is going to do this so that the children of Israel will know how awesome he is. I present to you that this is written as a record and further proof of the impostor, that this is the impostor. How can you say that? Because all the wonders that he's going to perform for them is for them to know that how awesome he is. From all these wonders and these miracles, he says that's never been done before. Well, the Most High God said in Genesis that he was done with all the work that he was doing. Genesis chapter 2, verse 4 introduced the Lord, but the Most High said he was done with all his work. And his work is the evidence of his awesomeness. The Most High God is no further miracles that need to be demonstrated. Everything that exists in reality is evidence of the awesomeness of the Most High God. Our existence, your existence, you and I. And so there is what further proof do you need? The Most High God, that's why he said he was finished with all his work. I don't got no more tricks or wonders to show you. Ain't no, but the Bible reveals in the book of Revelation that the impostor, Satan, was able to deceive the world by the wonders and signs that he performed. And so the Bible is recording to you the record of it because it's us that's going to judge the angels. The reason this teaching is new to you is because you are routinely taught this book out of order. And so without order, it is chaos. So your understanding is chaotic, and we see the results of it in the world. Babylon mean confusion. Okay, jealousy. Asherah is a female, a goddess that was worshipped among the Canaanites. Um, Asherah poles, the obelisks. They represent a phallus, a penis. Um, Easter, Ishtar is the is all of that come from, Christianity adopted a lot of what would be called pagan practices. Asherah, the first time you hear Asherah, just think Ishtar, Easter, you know. But he say, do not worship any other God for the Lord, and it is on all caps. And all caps is the name, what people usually say Yahweh. I believe it is pronounced U, YHWH, and it's a silent YHWH. You, the imposter, is claiming to be you, because you are the Lord of the earth, but it's a silent you. Um, the Most High God gave you authority, dominion, and rule, but the imposter is claiming to have your position here in this world. Same thing with the laws of the land, literally, with this maritime admiralty law. It's the same thing. The imposters seek to have control, even though the rightful rulers, uh, um, the paper person, is an imposter, is a non-living entity, a representation of you, the rightful ruler and owner of the land. He say, for the Lord, whose name is jealous, is a jealous God. Jealousy is a spirit of darkness. Envy, jealousy were among those spirits that were cast out of heaven. And so he is true to form when he says he's a jealous God, because this is Satan. The Bible is written to reveal who this is. And so when he say he's a jealous God, he okay. It's making it plain. It can't be no more plain than that. Jealousy is not a godly attribute. It is something that you would want to repent of. If you found yourself experiencing jealousy from uh, you without, or you being jealous of someone, it was something that you would want to stop. Jealousy is not a good thing. The opposite of jealousy is a word. What is that word? So I can't remember this word. Look up the antonym for jealousy. It's a beautiful word. And the word mean, the definition of it, it mean to one who take pleasure in the happiness of others, like genuine pleasure. That's the antonym for jealousy. But um, yeah, just when the Bible, when it's later revealed that we will judge angels, it's because God, our Father, is the Most High, and He is just. So those that have experienced jealousy are fit to judge it, to see whether or not it is good or good thing or not. If you've experienced hate, you can judge it whether or not it is a good thing or not. Was it a good experience or not? You can be a witness for or against it, depending on your experience. So let's continue. And the reason I find this so tedious, y'all, is because this book been around for a long time. We've been going to these churches and these Bible studies, and people don't know. How is it that it should tell you something is wrong if for all these years the people have been going and studying this book and still don't know what's in it, as if it was sealed from being able to see until now. But with the seals being unlocked, I guess, I got to take my time and read it as evidence. I'm in Exodus 34, and I'm really enjoying the fact that the evidence is being made so clear. We done got down into the meat and root of the book, and we can really see the actions of the Lord and how he's finna operate and the claims that he's gonna make about himself so that it can be clearly seen in the book. So let me keep reading. Be careful not to make a treaty with those who live in the land. Oh, and to break down their altars, smash their sacred stones, and cut down. So this is the blueprint. You see how these people that worship this being, they are bent on conquest. And in the process of them going out with their conquest, the colonizers, they tear down and destroy whatever was there before, whatever evidence of the Most High that the people left behind that would commemorate or bring into remembrance the work of the Most High God, they would be sure to tear down and destroy. And so when you see it still being practiced, you know where it come from and why. This is the practice of the people who follow this being. This is where they get the the blueprint to do it from. The worship of the God that they serve, the jealous God who come from below the sky in the cloud. Just read it. We just established that inside where the kingdom is up. Outside is down. And the sky is way outside of you, so it's way down below the bottomless pit. So in this inverted world, if you don't realize, if you're not awake, my people suffer from a lack of knowledge, you don't know which way up is. You go the wrong way. So let's continue. Be careful not to make a treaty with those who live in the land. Don't make peace with them. No peace. No peace. For when they prostitute themselves to their gods and sacrifice to them, they will invite you, and you will eat their sacrifices. And when you choose some of their daughters as wives for your sons, and those daughters prostitute themselves to their gods, they will lead your sons to do the same. So these idol worship, now peep, peep, peep. Now let's go deeper. How he tried to imitate and take the attributes of the Most High God and claim them, this jealous God. He tried to claim the way that the Most High God operate as the way he operate. So he telling them not to worship nothing else like he wasn't supposed to worship and do nothing else but give praise to the Most High God. Check this out. So idolatry, when you understand that we are made in the likeness and image of the Most High God, and his kingdom is within you, his temple sit on your shoulder. When you really, really understand that, then you understand that you are the manifestation of the Most High God. The people around you in awareness are the manifestation of the Most High God when you deal with people that are godly in the likeness and image of the Most High God. And so, because of this, you don't bow to me and I don't bow to you. And the Most High God gave us dominion and authority here. So that means there's nothing in this realm above us. You got to go into the heavenly realm to get above us here in this world. So anything here is not above you if it's here, because you got the authority, dominion, and rule here. You dig? So the the with the knowledge, with the understanding of who and what you are, you're not going to idolize anything outside of you because you know that inside of you, you are the tabernacle of the Most High God, and His temple sits on your shoulders. You won't dare with the knowledge of who and what you are. For those in the dark, something miraculous have to happen for them to get it. But they end up praising and worshiping the messenger, the light bringer, because the light is the message. Let there be light. When God spoke, that is a message, and a messenger is made to bring the message, light bringer. And the message is light. So we man, I don't want to get too far gone, y'all. So let me just pull it on back in and just make sure you understand that the premise is that the Lord is Satan and that he's trying to imitate the work of the Most High God. But the book is written to reveal he's the imposter by showing you his works and what his claims are. We just broke down the jealousy, and then he say, be careful not to make a treaty with those who live in the land, for when they make themselves to their gods, a sacrifice to them, they will invite you. What I'm saying is, this is what is considered a miraculous event, that a being had to come from out the sky, way below you, on the mountain, to tell you not to do what the Most High had already written in your heart and made you aware of. That's the difference between how the Lord operate and how the Most High operate. And remember Genesis chapter 1, read it for yourself. God said he was finished, and the Lord is nowhere to be found. It's never mentioned. And when God said he's finished with all of his work. So we dealing with what was done in the dark, because there are things that are created that don't have life in them, but they are still operating. Do not make cast idols. Celebrate the feast of unleavened bread. The feast of unleavened bread. The unleavened bread, this book is considered the bread of life. The unleavened bread, believe it or not, is the first chapter of this book, or more precisely, the first 33 verses of this book is the unleavened bread. This is a loaf of bread. The first 33 verses is the unleavened bread. The rest of it is the blow up, the yeast. For real. Read the first 33 verses. Then it in that contain the entire story. Isn't it? The first 33 verses. When you break, and you can break it, the entire story down from those first 33 verses. Um, the Feast of Unleavened Bread. For 7 days, eat bread made without yeast. The first 33 verses deal with the first 7 days. As I commanded you, do this at the appointed time in the month of Abib, for in that month you came out of Egypt. Pause. That's March. That's Aries. We're back on Aries. The Feast of Unleavened Bread. No yeast. I'm a vegetarian. In the beginning, a vegetarian diet was prescribed within those first 33 verses. The vegetables that we eat grew from the light of the Most High God. The sun had not been created when the vegetation grew. The third day, when the dry land appeared, the first half of the third day is when the waters in the sea were gathered into one place. The second half of the third day is when the dry land appeared and the vegetation began to grow. This is considered spring, and spring is in the sign of Aries. Later, when the stars are put into the sky, spring is in the sign of Aries. When the grass and the trees begin to bloom after the winter, is in the sign of Aries, the ram. And because this is the first time it happened when we dealing with creation in the book of Genesis, those first 33 verses, because we're dealing with the first time this happened, it's called the lamb, because it's just beginning. It's his first appearance. So your first appearance is as a baby. So Aries is the first appearance of Aries is as a lamb. A lamb is a baby ram. And the high ram, talked about this on my Facebook channel. The high ram is who decorated the temple. So Satan is called the Prince of Tyre. Tyre means rock. And Satan is the morning star. People say Venus and they call it Venus, but I'm telling you, the Most High reveals they dealing with the sun. This is sun worship they dealing with. And they have personified. Jesus is the sun personified. So the star that fell from heaven that we can see physically is the sun, the star that we see in the sky. Lucifer, light bringer. He wanted to be worshiped in the place of the Most High God. He come in the cloud. He sit below you. You in your ignorance think he's above you, but he's an imitation. He is imitating the light that is here. So, let's keep going with this feast of unleavened bread in the month of Abib. That's dealing with the ram, Aries, and his first appearance. He got replaced. Aries was sacrificed. We eat the fruit. We eat the fruit and vegetables. The light of God manifests itself in the first form of life as fruit and vegetables and vegetation. It's what decorate the planet, and that's our food. But in the false worship of the fallen star, when the stars are put into the sky the next day to commemorate, as the stars are signs for seasons, he's the beginning of the year that began with the lamb, with the high ram, Aries, the beginning of the year that coincided with vegetation regrowing from the winter, was replaced with the goat, Capricorn, the sea goat. So he was the ram is sacrificed from the foundation of the world. So we don't start the year no more with Aries. We start the year with Capricorn. We call January 1st Janu, New Year's. All in keeping and dealing with the sun. We deal with the Most High. The sun is for time. The sun is to measure time. We deal with the Most High. We outside of time, so we deal with seasons. And you know your season, and the season is out beyond time. Do not make cast idols. Celebrate the feast. Oh, I just read that. The first off the cast idols. It's like the crucifixes people wear, stuff like that. Exactly like that, actually. You can consider a crucifix a cast idol. It is an image of who people believe to be God that they wear around their neck. Um, let's keep reading. Every time I say I keep reading, boy, I get sidetracked. Don't hold on. Let me light my black. The first offspring of every womb belongs to me, including all the firstborn males of your livestock, whether from herd or flock. Redeem the firstborn donkey with a lamb, but if you do not redeem it, break his neck. Redeem all your firstborn sons. No one is to appear before me empty handed. Pause. What did he say? He said, the first offspring of every womb belongs to me, including all the firstborn males of your livestock. We're going to pause right there and turn with me, y'all, to Revelation, the book of Revelation. I say the Lord is Satan. The Bible revealed, the Most High had revealed who the Lord really is. Right? Okay. Check this out. Revelation chapter 12, and we going to go at verse 4. His tail swept a third of the stars out of the sky and flung them to the earth. The dragon stood in front of the woman who was about to give birth, so that he might devour her child the moment it was born. I'm going to read up a little bit. I'm still in chapter 12 of Revelation. A great and wondrous sign appeared in heaven. A woman clothed with the sun, with the moon under her feet, and a crown of 12 stars on her head. She was pregnant and cried out in pain, and she was about to give birth. Then another sign appeared in heaven, an enormous red dragon, with 7 heads and 10 horns, and 7 crowns on his heads. His tail swept a third of the sky and flung them to the earth. The dragon stood in front of the woman who was about to give birth, so that he may devour her child the moment it was born. And here you got the Lord demanding the first offspring of every womb belongs to me, including, and he talking about people. And then make sure you know he talking about people. He say including all the firstborn males of your livestock. I got to read this one time before I say what I'm gonna say. Got to read, cause I know we ain't half retarded. I know we ain't retarded. I know we're not retarded. I'm gonna read to you the 33rd verse, so you know I ain't playing with you about this 33 and who put this book together and put it on you. Verse 33 of the book. Precise Genesis chapter 2. And the verse is 2. By the 7th day, God had finished the work he had been doing. So on the 7th day, he rested from all his work. And God blessed the 7th day and made it holy, because on it he rested from all the work of creating that he had done. Okay. Is he giving them something new? Is he doing? He just said he finna do something that ain't never been done. Who is this? I know what finished me. You know what finished me. This ain't finished, y'all. This just getting started. Is it not not plain? Is it not the seventh day? Did the seventh day not happen? What's going on? Because the Most High said he would finish, and right after that, you got the Lord, and his work is in reverse order of the Most High God. Like, read it for yourself. Just go to read 34 on down. Just 2, verse 3. Then get to verse 4 and see who the Lord is and how he works. This is what we dealing with right here. And this how he works. This what he got going. He want the firstborn. I told you he was Satan. Book show you he Satan. I didn't tell you. Most High showed me. Showed me in the book. Showed me what the heart. He said you can go through this whole book and show him. Every line for line, you can show them and reveal to them, and they still ain't gonna listen because it's coming from you, because it's coming from them, and it's for them. Cause see, the ones that put it together, and they that's how you know the ones that put it together, cause they stuck that 33 on you. They playing with you. They got some real good knowledge game about you and hid it from you and inverted all the laws concerning you to keep you in the dark and blind about what's really going on. I look at the views on YouTube and I'm wondering what it's gonna take to get the message out here. And I'm not hearing the message from really anybody that's saying that you gotta abandon the bando, you gotta come out the trap. You gotta abandon the entire system. But it's gonna be all right. It's fear and confusion, darkness. It's just keeping people from resisting Satan. So if I continue to expose this here, if at the very least you'll know that you've been worshiping Satan and you got tricked into it. But now you can't say you got tricked into it. You can just say the truth came and you preferred the dark. So let's keep going. But that's another proof, line for line, that we dealing with Satan. He say, I want the firstborn, everything. See, the Most High, when he said, let us make man in our likeness and in our image, and he blessed them, told them to be fruitful and multiply, uh, the relationship that we have with the Most High is father-child. All of us. Um, you are the only you. So they make you the first you, even if by default. So we are all the firstborn. Ain't no other you. You the first you. And we are the first of the earth, the firstborn that come out the womb of this earth. All of us, the ones that the earth is given to, the rightful rulers of this earth. We are we are that. But let me continue. Let's keep going, exposing the demon. He say, no one is to appear before me empty-handed. Well, that's another difference. When you deal with the Most High God, you got to leave it all behind, baby. You got to leave it all behind when you're dealing with the Most High God. Don't bring nothing. Come naked. Leave it behind. All the cares of this world. That's why his temple sit on your shoulders. What do you wear? What do your soul wear? What do you wear in your mind? Nothing. Your mind don't need no clothes. When you go see the Most High, you don't even need words when you go see the Most High. But when you deal with the Lord, what he say? Don't come empty-handed. Bring me something. So those just showing you these differences between the Most High God and the Lord. 6 days you shall labor, but on the seventh day you shall rest. Even during the plowing season and harvest, you must rest. On the seventh day, God finished resting from all his work. He imitate the work of the Most High God. So he telling them. Now, when we deal with the seven, with these 7 days and these seven spirits, in the ancient days, seven planets they could see easily. And they saw these seven planets as gods, spirits, and they worshiped them because they could see them. And these seven planets that they could see, Jupiter, Mars, Mercury, Saturn, Neptune, Uranus, they consider these the seven spirits of God, the God that they serve. And when they later on, and I just show when they deal with him, they're gonna deal in front of the throne. They got seven lights, seven spirits, and 24 elders, and they represent the 7 days and the 24 hours in the day, because we're dealing with the Alpha and Omega, and that's telling you time. We're dealing with time, the God of time, the limitation, the prison of time. And he's seeking souls to hold in time with him, because he know his time is short. Because in the spiritual realm where he fell from, ain't no time. It's always now. The past is now, the present is now, the future is now. It's always now. It ain't never not now. But he's stuck in time. It can be seen, and yeah, he can check him out below you. But here we go. We're gonna keep on going. Celebrate the Feast of Weeks with the first fruits of the wheat harvest and the Feast of Ingathering at the turn of the year. 3 times a year, all your men are to appear before the ingathering at the turn of 3 times a year. All your men are to appear before the sovereign Lord, the God of Israel. I will drive out nations before you and enlarge your territory. No one will covet your land when you go up 3 times each year to appear before the Lord your God. So, I mean, that's just plain. These are the rituals that he wants them to perform to worship him. They done left Egypt. They in the desert. They down. Moses up on top of the mountain. They waiting on Moses to come down. And these are the laws that Moses is getting from the Lord on this mountaintop. How they gonna worship the Lord. The first 33 verses of Genesis give instructions on how the children of the Most High to worship him. He say, let us make man in our likeness and in our image. So we are like God. And how we are in his image is because we have a mind and a soul that cannot be seen. And we are like God because we can create the light. The light is ours. The light, we are lamps. We reflect his light through us, in us. We worship him by imitating him, by being like him, like he made us to be, by being honest and courageous and faithful and true. His law is written on our hearts. But this law that they're getting from the Lord on this mountaintop. And it's the Feast of Weeks, the first fruits of the wheat harvest, and the Feast of Ingathering. I will drive out nations before you and enlarge your territory. Do not offer the blood of a sacrifice to me, along with anything containing yeast, and do not let any of the sacrifice from the Passover feast remain until morning. So we dealing with sacrifice. First 33 verses of Genesis don't deal with no sacrifice. And the Most High God say he's finished. The first animal, the first killing that took place was the killing of the lamb that Abel killed. That nobody told him to kill. That the Lord took interest in, had favor on. So the concept of sacrifice came from Abel in the killing of the first animal, which was the lamb that Abel killed. The Lord that they was dealing with liked it. Cain saw that, so he killed Abel and got blessed. See, Cain was a farmer before he killed Abel, but after he killed Abel, he received a mark that wouldn't nobody mess with him, and he went from being a farmer to being a founder of a city. And a city is people. And he named the city after the son that he made. And he went and got him 2 wives. The 2 wives is evidence that other people existed during the time of Adam and Eve and Cain and Abel, and that they were not the first people in the world. They were the first people to deal with the Lord and worship the Lord as their God. We're going to get through it, though. Let me go on and go. But he want blood. He demand blood. You can't worship the Lord without blood sacrifice. But the sacrifice that we make is the giving up of living for the flesh, and we live for the spirit. We live with our mind lit with the light of the Most High God, and therefore we are truthful and we speak life and we create and we love and we teach and we are patient and we are kind and we are honest. Bring the best of the first fruits of your soil to the house of the Lord your God. Do not cook a young goat in its mother's milk. Then the Lord said to Moses, write down these words, for in accordance with these words I have made a covenant with you and with Israel. Moses was there with the Lord 40 days and 40 nights without eating bread or drinking water. And he wrote on the tablet the words of the covenant, the 10 commandments. So here we go. When Moses came down from Mount Sinai with the 2 tablets of the testimony in his hands, he was not aware that his face was radiant because he had spoken with the Lord. When Aaron and all the Israelites saw Moses, his face was radiant, and they were afraid to come near him. But Moses called to them. So Aaron and all the leaders of the community came back to him, and he spoke to them. Afterward, all the Israelites came near him, and he gave them all the commands the Lord had given him on Mount Sinai. When Moses finished speaking to them, he put a veil over his face. But whenever he entered the Lord's presence to speak with him, he removed the veil until he came out. And when he came out and told the Israelites what he had been commanded, they saw that his face was radiant. Then Moses would put the veil back over his face until he went in to speak with the Lord. Hold on, I'm going to keep reading for a bit. Moses assembled the whole Israelite community. This is chapter 35 of Exodus. Moses assembled the whole Israelite community and said to them, these are the things that the Lord commanded you to do. For 6 days work is to be done, but the 7th day shall be your holy day, a Sabbath of rest to the Lord. Whoever does any work on it must be put to death. Do not light a fire in any of your dwellings on the Sabbath day. Moses said to the whole Israelite community, "This is what the Lord has commanded. From what you have taken an offering for the Lord, everyone who is willing is to bring to the Lord an offering of gold, silver, and bronze, blue, purple, and scarlet yarn, and fine linen, goat hair, ram skin dyed red, and hides of sea cows, acacia wood, olive oil for the light spices, for the anointing oil. Anointing mean christening Christ, anointed, and for the fragrant incense, and onyx stones and other gems to be mounted on the ephod and breastpiece." And he finna call them to get all this stuff together, because he finna make them a temple. They finna make a temple. And they finna make an offering. He finna tell them the Lord has chosen Bezalel, son of Uri, the son of Uri. He has filled them with the Spirit of God, with skill, ability, and knowledge in all kinds of crafts, to make artistic designs for working gold, silver, and bronze. So the Lord is finna show them how to work this gold and bronze to make him a temple that is going to be where he gonna go and dwell in when he's among them. I'm gonna stop there. The difference being, with the Most High God, you be lit from within. In your temple, His temple, the Most High God, where He dwell among you, is inside of you. So repent. Make sure that you keep the vessel clean from the inside and repent, because the Most High, His temple sit on your shoulders. His kingdom is within you. Inside of you is up. When He come down from heaven, He come down from the sound mind, the firmament, firm mentality, firmament, strong mind. And you can't let the what's below you penetrate the firmament and get up into heaven. And remember, in is up. That's why the firmament, the firm mind, is there. So yeah, I'm gonna stop there. Man, I'm just making it plain on my Facebook. I'm turned up, you know what I mean? Cause I gotta aim. I know a lot of people may not necessarily agree with how I'm finna start coming on this Facebook. May even shoot it on this Instagram. I think I need to go, cause I'm shooting at youngsters, so I'm gonna go Instagram with it too. But I'm turned up, and I'm using some slang, and I'm using some profanity, and I'm using some vulgar language. I'm finna turn up, and I'm finna call out the demons and the demon mentality. And don't nobody, I dare you come at me saying what I can't talk about, and you ain't said nothing when a newscaster sit in your face and say the COVID vaccine is safe, and you see people dropping dead in front of you. How dare you say what I can't say, or call what I say a curse word or a bad word, or take offense when you hear this message is real and resonate, and you choose to take up with a set of consonant and vowels that you choose to take offense with, but never take offense with the people that sit in your face smiling at you, that may never use a set of consonant and vowels that you take offense with, but are still lying to you and keep you in the dark, and you never call them out on it. Shut up. Shut up. But if you rocking with it, share this, man. Get this game, take your time. If it interests you, if you want to understand what all the hoopla is about, and get the truth of it without having to go through all the ceremonies and the rituals and the pocket watching and all the other shenanigans that go on in these so-called places of worship, tune in. Check it out. Get you some knowledge. Start from the beginning. The beginning explained. The beginning explained part two. Remember, it's not for your entertainment. No, and not. This is for your learning. So learn you something. My people suffer from a lack of knowledge. Learn you something. Peace.